I gave Chris and Allison a number of scriptures to choose from for this day. And they chose a scripture from the Song of Songs. It's one of the wisdom books in the Old Testament. It's a book of poetry, very intense, passionate poetry that's written between two lovers. And at one point in this poem, the female says this: "Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave. Love's flashes are flashes of fire, a raging flame. Many waters cannot quench love. Floods cannot drown it. If one offered for love all the wealth of his house, it would be utterly scorned." It's poetry. And with any good poetry, it's full of imagery, these vivid images that we need to latch onto. And not always can we latch onto them through just one hearing. And I think it's very important that you hear it well and that it sinks in deeply, not only yourselves, but everyone here present, because the images in this text are what this day is all about. So listen to this text again. "Set me as a seal upon your heart. Set me as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave. Love's flashes are flashes of fire, a raging flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If one was to offer for love all the wealth of his house, that offering would be utterly scorned." See, we live in this day and age where the idea of a seal is not something that we're familiar with. But back in that day, seals would have been more common. If you were a privileged family, you'd have a seal for your household. Maybe use it to stamp or proclaim your name on something. And so when that happened, what was being proclaimed was not just that your name was on it, but that you were on it. That seal stood for all that you were. And so in this case, the woman is asking the man, "Set me as a seal upon your heart." And the idea is that the man has this seal on his heart that represents all the pride in his life, everything that he is proud of. And it represents his character and all who he is. And so the woman, in one sense, is asking to be the most treasured possession of the man. His most precious possession. And so she says, "Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm." So that internally, she is his, and externally, it's shown to everyone else that she is also his. And so the idea here is that the seal is upon the heart. His most precious possession, the highest priority in his life, is his spouse. And we know lots of people where that's not true. We know lots of men where that isn't true, where they let something else be the top priority in their heart, whether it's their job, their workplace, they pour everything into that, or whether it's some hobby and their wife became second and third on that list. But may Allison be set as a seal upon your heart. May Chris be set as a seal upon your heart, that you're the top priority to one another. That's what it means to set the seal upon your heart. And then set your seal upon your arm. This idea that externally, not only is she a top priority inside, but a top priority to everyone who looks from the outside. That whether you're literally arm in arm or hand in hand or not, that it is obvious to all about how much pride that you have in her.